Up that it was a black man that ran this parade.
Do you need any more proof that media is useless? I mean, we've already gone through comedy is useless because they want to be media, and media is useless because they're
They don't want people to know because he was black and did this crime, this horrible crime, killing 4 people, 3, 4, I don't know. He killed a few people by ramming a parade, a Christmas parade.
White, Hispanic, black, and he was just responding. Zimmerman was just responding to the question. And you know what?
Ridiculous.
Oh, you mean the Mexican white supremacy? Yeah. Mexican white supremacy. So maybe the Mission Control can bring this up. I was doing an interview with Russia today, and I was doing it from my parents' house at that point on Skype. And as they were interviewing me, I said, and let me guess, you're probably going to run that photo of 14-year-old Trayvon Martin, and kind of and they didn't have time to change it. It was on as I was saying.
It's not your friend.
I couldn't see anything. So we can run that a little bit later. Just to give you an idea, there are a lot of people now who claim they've been in this bandwagon for a while. I've always said there is no neutral media. Can you guys comment to those who are watching, of course, in archive? What purpose does media serve?
Of course, PlayStation took away the ability to. You can't share videos on PlayStation, YouTube app. You can't. There's a lot of stuff you can't do. I can't use the creator anymore to edit videos. That was probably more YouTube than. Well, it probably was a combination of YouTube and PlayStation. The stuff that they put together. You can't do anything on the console. I used to be able to do a lot of things on here, but I can't even make videos shorter. I can do 0 editing. I can't even get to the editor.
Could have been activated, in fact, because it was not against right rate, and that's going to force us to take a good, long, hard look at ourselves. Back to you, Anderson. Yeah, they have eyewitnesses. They have videotape of all of this. They had people just on saying, I was within 2 feet. I could have reached out and grabbed the guy. Yeah. You couldn't give a description? Like, he or she... Listen, hold on. It doesn't matter if this...
I'm watching Louder with Crowder.
If it fits the narrative, that's why we're telling guys that you have to be afraid of, which is what you're all being told right now. If it's a black guy, they don't want to offend anybody, and so they'll just cover that right up. And it wouldn't be so important if they didn't...
Yeah, the school shooter, absolutely, though. He's right. He's 100% right. They did that same thing.
But that school shooting, we were here, and I remember you were upset saying it seems like it happens all the time.
Louder with Crowder.
White person problem.
Monday through Thursday.
Looked like it was a drug thing.
I try not to miss it.
They don't even like themselves. You think we have a problem with you?
Seriously, we don't even have time.
They have references for everything that they claim. They have backup.
Like each one of mine. I'm fucking good.
There's no world star country.
Yeah, right. Why do you want to relate to the lowest people in your society? Right. There's no reason to do that. You're better than that. Don't let this media convince you that we're the bad guy, that anybody with a different shade of skin. The point is, if it's a black guy with dreadlocks who did the crime, say that. If it's a white guy with black hair holding an AK, say that.
The problem here is they said initially, just like we just read through the...
I'm watching Louder with Crowder.
And it was silent. So the lie is amplified, and then the truth is silent. That's the issue too that you need to understand. Amplified lies and silent truth. That's the big issue. It's not just the lies that you hear, it is the silent truth like you're seeing right now. Technically, it's not a lie for Natasha Chen there to say he or she.
She didn't know his pronouns.
Didn't know the But here's what it he just went in before he did took his mugshot and then put.
Come on.
Come on.
I want to go party.
Okay, now.
Okay,
Hold on a second. Always change the camera so easily.
Really got more kids.
What does dessert you do?
Hold on.
Where's the kid I can see?
Oh, this thing is so freaking slow. What the hell? Hold on a second.
So, speaking of crime that's been rampant, this happened this weekend, and I have a few points that I'd like to get into here. It's not that there was a looting at a Walnut Creek, I believe, mass looting. Mass looting.
That's
It's
a
not
little.
It's a lot. It was like 80 people.
80
I don't know how
people.
you coordinate. It was like 80 cars. It's a Facebook group. They didn't even call it.
Yeah, it's pretty. They didn't even hide it. It's just looting.
The bids. Invite. And it's hard to be happy answers are maybe attending.
Yeah.
Maybe looting. It's an open group too. It's weird.
Everyone's 10 minutes late.
They didn't even carpool. So look, let me show you this is coordinated with in a suburb, I guess, of the Bay Area at a Nordstrom. Is it Nordstrom's or Nordstrom?
Nordstrom.
Nordstrom. Okay. People have to think about it. Walnut Creek. Here's some footage of it. This happened yesterday.
You got robbing the place. There's 2 masks.
You voted for this.
Now's the time you get the shit you voted for. Oh yeah!
You showed it.
Like a well-organized operation, people sprinted to waiting cars, carrying bags.
Would we even call that a sprint? That's a light jog. That's a speed walk.
People running down the street.
This is ridiculous.
Like ski masks, crowbars, and a bunch of weapons. I've seen a car veered around a police SUV to make a getaway, but another officer stopped him with his gun drawn. 3 people were arrested. All are charged with robbery. One of them is also charged with felon in possession of a gun.
77. Now, how hilarious would it be if that guy just stole the Samsonite luggage and didn't fill it up with stuff?
Yeah.
Shit, I just need a carry-on. That's a missed
What
opportunity.
if they were just a flash mob? They were like, I don't
Really?
know, we picked up the dancing coordinates down, we just started robbing
We
stuff.
couldn't coordinate the thriller. Oh, we just took.
What a great commercial for Amazon.
Yeah.
Stay home and be afraid.
Yes.
Order your stuff from us.
Who cares if you pay for Prime and it shows up 9 days late with no recourse?
COVID, you know.
Did you see? Also, this is my issue. Similar to with MSNBC when they call it journalism. It's not that 50 to 80 people knew it's how little accountability must be feared that they have to. What has led up to that? We know that. That's billions of dollars in damages, thousands of arrests and looting and arson throughout the years. It is incredible when you think about just how little concern there is for the law at this point. That's what this is showing you. Look behind you. There's the tipping point. Also, guess what? The police showed up. They can't catch them all. These guys weren't even trying to hide their license plate. Yeah, it's just lazy. Just get some tape. Duct tape your license plate. Come on. They were so like, you know what? Well, a couple of us will get caught. I bet you that they all stole something under $1,000.
I see. Yes.
It's just reparations.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
fighting for justice.
By the way, the researchers just sent me this food, and
Yeah, we do have the guy in custody.
There's a person of interest. You mean when you reach through the driver's side window? Information. And it doesn't include the guy. At all.
Not
At all.
We don't have any information. Could you imagine this reporting 15 years ago?
Well, I saw it did happen. We just weren't able to fact check it. That's the issue.
Ah, you piece of garbage. See,
They're basically turning
Well, look at this. Look at
this.
this. They have a
I'm so
information.
getting so pissed off.
And it doesn't include the guy.
At all. Not
At all.
We don't have any information. Could you imagine this reporting 15 years ago?
Well, I saw it did happen. We just weren't able to fact check it. That's the issue.
Yeah,
It forces us to question every
Wow,
single
I cannot
story
get
that
this
we
thing to sit there.
They didn't even have the thing is, now, look, you are able to watch them live.
Really?
You watch us. They have 3 people on CNN right now. Is it okay, by the way, you guys hit the like button if you want me to go to I want to see right now in real time. Give me a little bit of time to see if they do the right thing. Can we do this? I think so. So they've got 3 people. Let's see. If a single one of them, again, we have his information, we know what crimes he's committed, we know when he got out on bail 2 days ago and for which crime? His name is Darrell Brooks Jr. Let's see if anyone says it.
What compelled this person to drive their car after this person people, gathered to celebrate Travis? But we're not going to get an answer to that right away. Certainly,
you already have
until law enforcement feels more comfortable sharing
it's unreal
details. We've heard different reporting this morning that he.
Well, I guess we'll never know what happened on that mysterious Thanksgiving Eve.
Corroborated that?
Yeah, we do have the guy in custody.
There's a person of interest. Do you mean when you reached through the driver's side window and pulled him out?
Yeah, the guy?
Yeah.
Well, he's
Just call him that. He's not interesting at all.
Not the Dos Equis prick.
Some of the folks that he passed, at least initially, which is not what you typically see when someone attacks a large crowd with a vehicle.
Unless he's aiming for specific people.
They're running defense on him?
Again, he just defended him.
He just did.
He just defended him. Well, we don't know if one of, to be fair, Prosciutto, we don't know if one of those bitches owed him money. So we will wait for more information. She was 15. Yes, my point still stands. Bitch could have owed him money.
She was ho-ho-hoing, and he was just pimping.
Allison, Miss Camerota, you have got to keep your pimp hand strong. Back to you, Allison.
It's my understanding he was aiming for 16-year-olds.
Yes, because these are his primary employees.
Yes. Do you like
no word yet. It is a 401k.
Yes. Do you like the books behind me? I'm a piece of shit. Back to you again.
Back to you. Avenue after he's been inaugurated, the Secret Service completely.
Oh yeah, that guy really looks like he's gently driving.
Yeah.
I mean, he swerved from the crowd before he hit the crowd.
But I think what local officials will be questioning is how did they block the major access points to that route? We saw the use of some barricades that were easily penetrated.
He drove through them because it's a car, and those are made of light wood.
Right. They're not expecting somebody to drive into the crowd.
We have ensured, of course, with what we believe, and some people have said they've increased funding here. I have no idea if that's true. We have ensured that going forward, of course, with our limited budget, that we will block off the streets with entire wicker swing sets moving forward.
Yes, we.
We did see some changes, right, after other incidents that happened where vehicles were used as weapons. There's also, more people.
Do you need any more proof that media is useless? I mean, we've already gone through comedy is useless because they want to be media, and media is useless because they're spineless pieces of garbage.
Well, they're hilarious.
Well, if you guys go back to the Trayvon Martin case, where not only did the president come out and say, I had a son named Trayvon Martin, but I believe, was it NBC or ABC who played like an edited clip and made it a race thing by saying, oh, he's black. And it was like they left out the part right there where they said, is he white, Hispanic, black? And he was just responding, Zimmerman was just responding to the question.
And you know what? We can probably bring this up.
You mean the Mexican white supremacist?
Yeah. The Mexican white supremacist. So maybe the Mission Control can bring this up. I was doing an interview with Russia today, and I was doing it from my parents' house on Skype. And as they were interviewing me, I said, and let me guess, you're probably going to run that photo of 14-year-old Trayvon Martin, and they didn't have time to change it. It was on as I was saying it, and I couldn't see anything. So we can run that a little bit later. It's just to give you an idea, there are a lot of people now who claim they've been on this bandwagon for a while. I've always said there is no neutral media. Can you guys comment to those who are watching, of course, in archive? What purpose does media serve? Honestly, what purpose
propaganda.
Especially a 24-hour news cycle. Look,
inciting riots.
It used to be if you had the news at 7, whatever time they would have it. News at 11, whatever. News at 5, whatever. However often they would have it. I think 4 times a day is about what they would have it. 3 or 4. They used to recap it so you knew what was going on. The whole idea behind 24-hour news was it could actually be proactive. If there's a chase going on, if there's a manhunt going on. In this scenario, they have no interest. None whatsoever. How long before the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, that night, did it come out that he was a white supremacist or tied to militia? Right now, they have the police scanner audio. Yeah. They caught the guy. They have his criminal record, and we don't know if he or she or Z in there could have been aggravated. In fact, because it was not a gay pride parade, and that's going to force us to take a good, long, hard look at ourselves. Back to you, Anderson.
Yeah, they have eyewitnesses. They have videotape of all of this. They had people just on saying, I was within 2 feet. I could have reached out and grabbed the guy. Yeah. You couldn't give a description? He or she. Listen, hold on. It doesn't matter if this guy was black or white unless it fits a narrative for them. Right. If it fits the narrative, that's why we're white guy that you have to be afraid of, which is what you're all being told right now. If it's a black guy, they don't want to offend anybody, and so they'll just cover that right up. Just like
wouldn't be so important if they didn't.
Yeah, school shooter, absolutely, though. He's right. He's 100% right. They did that same thing.
But that school shooting, we were here, and I remember you were upset saying it seems like it happens all the time, and we were talking about it was kind of a white person problem. Black kid shot 3 people, including a teacher.
Looked like it was a drug thing.
It was there because white people don't even like themselves. You think we have a problem with you?
Seriously, we don't even have time for it.
We don't identify with each other as brothers. If I see a guy getting wrestled to the ground and shot who's a redneck, I'm not like, he's one of mine. I'm fucking good.
I didn't like the popcorn out.
There's no world star country.
Yeah, right. Why do you want to relate to the lowest people in your society? Right. There's no reason to do that. You're better than that. Don't let this media convince you that we're the bad guy, that anybody with a different shade of skin. The point is, if it's a black guy with dreadlocks who did the crime, say that. If it's a white guy with black hair holding an AK, say that.
The problem here is they said initially, just like we just read through the tweet, they said, I guarantee you it's a white guy. And then when they find it, then it was silence. So the lie is amplified, and then the truth is silent. That's the issue, too, that you need to understand. Amplified lies and silent truth. Yep. That's the big issue. It's not just the lies that you hear. It is the silent truth, like you're seeing right now. Technically, it's not a lie for Natasha Chen there to say he or she.
She didn't know his pronouns.
Didn't know the pronouns. But here's what it means. He just went in before he did his, took his mugshot and then put on some lipstick and said, I love me.
If you're a 20-year-old black man right now...
He would, though. He's not 16.
Well, that's true. If you're a 20-year-old black man right now, and all you do is listen to CNN and major news outlets, you do think that you are the problem because of your skin color and not your behavior. You do think that the world is against you, and you hear Kyle Rittenhouse, white supremacist, you hear all of this, and it leads to people tweeting those things. Oh, well, they'll probably claim self-defense because there's probably a white guy in the car and he was threatened by the crowd. That's what leads to that. How do they not understand that they're creating future problems?
So we'll get to in a little bit. We talked about this before. There's an example of that girl in Kenosha who was underage sex trafficked by people like this Daryl Brooks. And she killed him, burned down his house. Okay. And I said, great. Make him look like the English patient for all I care.
How do you have empathy for a guy who stabbed people and then drove into a crowd of people, but you don't have empathy for a guy defending himself from a pedophile hitting him with a chain?
White.
That's what it is.
Stop with the dog whistles.
He had a scary-looking rifle, okay? And it was semi-automatic. Which is so cool.
Which is all anybody need. AR means assault rifle, because I read that on Twitter.
Yeah, it does.
Natasha Chen said so.
I heard he played Call of Duty.
Once?
Are we done here?
Well, then he's a serial killer.
He's absolutely a serial killer. Hey, did this guy play Grand Theft Auto?
Oh, what?
San Andreas.
I don't know. I'm not a serial killer. I have no idea.
It's a good game.
I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, and I really only broke my own leg.
I played Bond. I played Mario Kart. Did you?
By the way, we got this chat from Zach French. Please shout out that Waukesha Memorial Hospital has put out an urgent request for blood donations.
Absolutely.
And the city of Waukesha has also tweeted out about a community fund.
Yeah, right.
I give you my blood, but you die instantly.
You don't want to.
You earn the bags.
Dave's like, I brought friends, not mine. No.
I don't need a call from Red Cross going, why would you send us this again?
Biological warfare, Dave.
He looked at it under a microscope, and the microbes were smiling at me.
Oh, wow.
All right, so it's Landau DNA. So let me go through, before we go to Kyle Rittenhouse, what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? By the way, smash that Rumble button if you're on Rumble right now. Smash that Rumble button. Smash it. And of course, the same thing if you're on YouTube. We will be playing They Don't Make Them Like They Used to.
That's right.
On Mug Club today. Yeah. Before we get to Kyle Rittenhouse, what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? And I'll present to you some arguments, but I think everyone has heard this at point. It's such a lazy, shallow argument. I think we can make the same argument here.
I would hope that he got off.
Yeah.
Wait, he's not black?
I don't know what he is. He kind of has a Jessica Alba quality to him.
I only watch right-wing news, and they never mentioned it.
Right, yeah.
He's one of the...
Okay.
So remember how immediately after, let's first go through the worst takes of Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yeah.
Again, where people fear no accountability. Let's go back to the guy who everyone hated, President Donald Trump. Remember how he acted immediately after Kyle defended himself?
interested in the actions of vigilantes like Kyle Rittenhouse?
We're looking at all of it. That was an interesting situation. You saw the same tape as I saw. And he was trying to get away from them, I guess, looks like. And he fell. And then they very violently attacked him. And it was something that we're looking at right now, and it's under investigation. But I guess he was in very big trouble. He probably would have been killed, but it's under investigation.
I have to tell you, I am actually surprised at how there was zero involvement. I would have thought, looked to me like they were going at him with a nuclear bomb. Excuse me, okay. And he, in fact, had nothing but a sling, like David. He was swinging it around. And then, excuse me, no, and you could see the pedophile's erection, who also, who had the nuke. He had the nuke, and I hate that he had a nuke, but he had a nuke. And he had an erection. When you have an erection and a nuke, and all you have is a sling, look, I already have a statue written down. Everything he said was 100% accurate, and he said, and we're still investigating it, but it looked like it was a bad situation. It seemed like they were violently attacking him. He tried to run away. I think you've seen the same tape that I have. Of course, when he said, I think that you've seen the same tape, people at CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, Young Turks said, "Okay."
The Young Turks even admitted that. The one woman from the Young Turks even admitted she got it wrong.
Anna. Yeah, well, I think that's because some of those dollar bills lawsuits,
Right, but they had already started trying to corner him there. If you speak out against the militia members like Kyle Rittenhouse, it's like, whoa. You didn't have any information yet. Like, no, exactly.
Oh, God forbid a president gives a, direct and honest answer, which ends up being exactly what happened and proven in court.
And not cool his pants. What does he think? Who does he think he taken for?
He then went to the Vatican. Yes. Shat himself.
A bathroom incident.
Yeah, you're right. It takes 6 hours for your podium to kick in.
The last person to shit his pants at the White House before Biden was Al Roker.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't he sharts?
Yeah, he did. He did. He threw out his underwear.
He did. He threw out his underwear at the White House.
Barack Obama.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, nothing like perpetuating the negative fat guy stereotype. What are you, a clump?
I bet you before he lost the weight, he wouldn't even notice when he started. He'd just get home and be like, I must have done it.
Another one of those.
He's like half about it.
He's stopping at the train on the way home out to Yonkers and getting his shoe shine.
What is that whip?
This guy sitting next to the subway smells like shit.
Every bomb I laid out.
That's the shape out of my El Ruka shoes.
Wait, you mean these shoes were cordovan? Oh, I thought they were black.
Diabetes shoes.
Get it out with the jaws.
Imagine
what were you saying?
We have a video that you guys wrote with you and
with me and Trayvon Martin? Okay, all right, let's try. If I remember correctly, now keep in mind, I am just talking into a computer. I cannot see anything, it's just Skype. Yeah. And from what I remember, I called it without even being able to see.
One of the people are bringing here, just like you guys have decided to show the picture of Trayvon Martin. I don't know why the picture is several years old, whereas the Zimmerman picture is only his mugshot. This man hasn't seen a trial. He's been convicted guilty by the American public.
Right now, right there in the production studio, someone's going, "Fuck! Abort, don't put he did it!"
You have a picture from his 5th birthday party? They should do that with the killer.
As you can see, here he is in his Donatello pajamas.
Here's Zimmerman as a Boy Scout.
Yes. All right. So let's go. So Donald Trump responded that way. On the flip side, we had Quinn Hildner from the Washington Examiner who published this article. Don't try for Kenosha killer Kyle Rittenhouse. Nicole Hannah-Jones of the 1619 Project infamously tweeted, "In this country, you can even kill white people and get away with it if those white people are fighting for black lives. This is the legacy of 1619. He carried a gun. He could not legally have illegally crossed state lines and killed 2 people. But sure, y'all believe in law and order." So everything about that tweet is wrong.
It's so bad.
Corey Bush tweeted, "The judge, the jury, the defendant. It's white supremacy in action. This system isn't built to hold white supremacists accountable. It's why black and brown folks are brutalized and put in cages while white supremacist murderers walk free. I'm hurt. I'm angry. I'm heartbroken." And so this leads into, obviously, the horrible takes, the inaccuracy. And when you set it up with a lie, you don't really tell people that that's just an inference that you make. Then it allows you to use it as a springboard to create a straw man argument. Right? They're trying to say if Kyle were black, would have been arrested, would have been murdered, but just so you don't take it from me, here you go.
would still feel very strongly if he was a different ethnicity or people group. Yeah, he'd be gone. It wouldn't be no, he's a hero and this, that, and the third.
Incorrect.
They would have said that he was underage. He traveled to a different state.
Wearing a rolling paper shirt.
A firearm that didn't belong.
It's not okay for the judicial system to be blatantly and obviously stacked against people of color.
This country's so racist. Oh my, what are we ever gonna do?
For white people?
One-sided,
But
yeah.
I don't care about Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't care about that racist judge. And I don't care about how...
Why is she dressed like an animatronic musician in a kid's restaurant?
Yeah, exactly. It's like a Chuck E. Cheese. You go in and be like, hey, what's that? That's the Amber Ruffin robot. Yes, that is Amber!
So eerie. That was pretty good. She looks like, yeah, they took her out of Discovery Zone and gave her a talk show. She's always like very tight. Yeah, she's very like...
And don't you love that first guy, by the way, with the, wear rolling paper shirt. Why'd you pull me over, officer? I don't know, because your eyes are bloodshot, you smell like burnt onions, and you have a t-shirt that says, I love weed. That was Jacob Blake.
That was Jacob Blake.
That was Jacob Blake. Right. Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was Jacob Blake? Yeah. The guy... You mean, I'm sorry, the wife, the man who hit his wife?
The man who digitally raped his wife and violated a restraining order?
Right. I'm sorry.
Let's rehab your image with rolling papers.
Yeah, the man who should know that actions have consequences more than anyone right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, you mean the multi-millionaire because of white guilt?
Yeah.
Because all he had was a knife.
I mean,
you don't bring a gun to a knife fight.
That's true. You lose the right to self-defense.
Great.
That's what a good person.
You take a knifing. I mean, if you've got a gun, you just take a knifing. All of us take a knifing.
By the way, I'll talk about this. I was right about Kyle Rittenhouse's defendant. What a useless pussy. So, you've heard his lawyer, you mean? Yeah, his lawyer, sorry.
Well, yeah, that guy's got to try it. Oh, his lawyer?
His lawyer was awful. Remember I said he didn't make a good... Anyway, let's go... Remind me to go back to it. Let me write
Kyle's own lawyer, you mean?
Remember I said his arguments were
Richards.
Yeah. And then he went on Chris Cuomo and the stuff that he said since this guy should never have been handling the case. Kyle is very fortunate.
Yeah.
Which one?
The crew cut.
The guy with the buzz sitting there talking about, people should mind their own business and not carry guns. Hard art. I'm not going to say it. Anyway. So, a lot of blue marks. Let me just go through this real quick. A lot of blue check marks on Twitter have had similar opinions. What if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? Bubba Noose in my garage. Wallace said, let the boy be black, and it would have been life. Hell, he would have had his life taken before the bullshit trial. Sad. Julian Castro, remember he ran for office?
I do, yeah.
Remember that piece of shit?
Yeah, still is.
He said, you know damn well that if Kyle Rittenhouse were black, he would have been found guilty in a heartbeat, or shot dead by cops on the scene.
No.
Comedian Kamal Bell. Do you ever perform with him?
No, I've never met him.
Okay, you're lucky.
I haven't been asked to not be on a show by him.
Good. Count your blessings instead of cheese.
I've never met him, but I do know that he likes to push propaganda.
Yes. So he wrote, if you're a black teenage male, here's some things you can't expect to get away with. Number one, illegally getting a gun. Okay, good. Kyle didn't do that. 2, claiming you're protecting property that isn't yours and you weren't asked to protect. That's incorrect. 3, killing 2 people with a gun. 4, fleeing the scene. You ain't Kyle Rittenhouse. He turned himself into the police. He went to the police immediately. They said, get off the road. He said, yeah, but I just shot a guy. They said, yeah, we all have kids. Get off the road. And then he went to the police station after that. Not the same thing, Kamal Bill. Now, let's be clear about this. Not only, I want to say once and for all, I want black people to be able to protect their neighborhoods, their family, the exact same white people, Asian people, as owners of Nordstrom, or the owner of the little trinket shop down the street, or the owner of the franchise Papa John's, or the local Italian restaurant, or the neighborhood watch. I want everyone to be able to protect their family, what's theirs, and we need to stop this culture of victim. And what do I mean? Victimizing people who are not engaged in crime. There's no justice in mowing over people at a parade. Let's defend it 0. There's no justice in burning down a Walgreens. Let's defend it 0. There's no justice in spray painting dicks all over a courthouse. In trying to kill a kid at a restaurant. There's no justice in burning down a used car lot. Let's be clear about this. And I want these people, criminals, to be afraid of law-abiding citizens from all the colors of the rainbow. Am I clear about that? So let me give you some examples of black people, first off, who either have been treated similarly, or we would support being treated similarly. It's not just a black or white thing. Keep in mind, the Fort Worth shooter, black kid, shot 3 people, out on $75,000 bail. Let's be really clear about that. Also on Friday, Andrew Coffey, a black man, was cleared of second-degree felony murder, 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. The jury found it was self-defense. What happened is he shot at some deputies during an early morning raid. What I believe happened is they poked a hole through a window. He thought it was rifle fire. He shot at them. They shot his girlfriend, and they charged him with killing his girlfriend. He was just cleared.
What? Yeah, as he should be.
Yeah. If they didn't do their jobs and announce who they were, then that's the kind of stuff, unfortunately, that happens.
And it is different from Breonna Taylor. Let me give you some examples of other people who supported black people who were carrying guns or using force. David Dorn, former police officer who was shot dead and raised money for him. Crystal Kaiser, she was jailed for killing her pimp and burning down his town. Yeah. And now, I believe it was also Kenosha, they're trying to charge her and say, well, she only did it because she wanted to steal his BMW. Okay, to be clear, the authorities had videotape of this man sexually assaulting minors. She was pimped by him, just like the guy, the he or she, who ran over people at the parade, right? This lady, this girl, Crystal Kaiser, was underage, was being pimped, sex trafficked. Yeah. She had enough, she killed a man, burned down his house, and they're trying to say, oh, but she did it to steal his car. You know what? Sometimes that's the booty of war.
Yeah.
Exactly. You take your plunder. I wouldn't care if she cleaned out his jewelry box and took his flat screen. He was sex trafficking minors. It was on camera. But, of course, the local authorities, I'm not sure if the FBI was involved. We don't have all the details yet. They wanted to build a stronger case, even though they knew they had it on camera in sexually abusing minors.
But who cares? She wouldn't be in the mentally right frame of mind as a minor being sex trafficked.
Right.
Who gives a crap what she thought the reason was?
You know what we do in Hollywood when we want you to hate the villain even more? We make them sex traffickers. That's what we do every single time. We make them the lowest form of scum that we can possibly imagine, and this girl was fighting back. Would we ever blame anybody that's being sex trafficked for killing their assailant? No.
I wouldn't blame her for cutting off his nether regions and shoving it in his mouth.
And then killing him. Yeah. Or letting him enjoy the taste.
Yeah. I would let it live.
Live for a little bit, and then burn the house alive. Burn the house.
This is all hypothetical.
It's hypothetical. Yeah. I'm saying I don't think anyone would blame a girl who's being, that girl, to be clear, sex trafficked, underage. I don't even care if she chose to be a prostitute. Does not matter. Hey, have you noticed a theme here? We don't like pedophiles and child rape.